Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5 of our PBL Mooc. My name is Jimmy, and I'm joined here today with Lianne and Herco. Welcome to our guest in the session. So for this week, last week you worked on the post-discussion of the second problem and the pre-discussion of the third problem. You also filled out a midterm survey. If you haven't done so yet, please fill it out. And you provided peer feedback to other groups. And in this week, the upcoming week, the tasks that have opened up in your course outline are the post-discussion of the third problem and the pre-discussion of the last problem. And during the week, you'll also see the task of giving peer feedback on another group. In this live session, Herco will take a look at the problems that have been submitted last week, and Lianne will preview what is coming up. So, Herco, if you would like to start.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of assignments that were sent in last week. Of course, many assignments are yet to come before 12 o'clock today, but there were some really interesting pieces of work. I noticed that almost all groups paid attention to things like what is an effective PBL problem, you know, that it should relate to prior knowledge, that students should be able to apply their knowledge, that it shouldn't be too simple, not too complex, it should be authentic and motivating and give a taste of professional life. These kinds of features were seen in most assignments. Some groups noticed that there is a tension between the intended learning outcomes or the learning objectives and the conditions where students have our groups have to work on, like how much time do you have, what kind of learning resources are there, the group size, and these can constrain what you can do with the problem in PBL. Things like if you present suggested learning resources, do you present many or few? Because that really can well affect the student-centeredness of a problem. If you give students learning resources, they will tend to have a look at them and might not be able to really venture out and follow their own interests. And there was one group that focused on an interesting question, and that is how can you create a design thinking climate? That is, you can create a problem, but of course, you don't strive for perfection right away. The important thing is to organize your feedback and to make sure that next year's run of the problem will be better than this year's run. So it's important to kind of make sure when you've written a problem, you get feedback from students, from tutors, from colleagues after the students have worked on the problem. And this way you can kind of make sure that you get enough information to improve for next year's run. I must say that the Asians in university education group really came up with a wonderful product. That's just, yeah, something to highlight. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that later on in the course. That's it for now.
Okay, thank you, Herco. Lianne, would you like to say a few words on what is coming up?
Yes, of course. So what you will be doing this week is the post-discussion of the problem about PBL curricula. We've seen some interesting pre-discussions going on already, seeing groups discussing how to assess students in the PBL curricula, but also how to assess the effectiveness of a curriculum, for example, how to evaluate it. Are there specific tools for that or theories to uncover how effective that your learning is? we see that you have been discussing in what kind of ways that you can actually implement PBL. I saw that some groups were wondering whether the only way to do PBL is the way that some universities do it with tutors, for example, or whether there's other ways to do it. Here again, in this week, we saw the many groups making the connection to making sure that PBL problems are really related to what students will do in their later working life. So making sure that the complexity of problems is correct and that there's a lot of variation in problems that you offer to students. And I think that's a nice bridge also to what you will be doing in problem 4, where the idea is to think about the future of PBL and then also the future of PBL in the own institution that you might be working in. So if you look at the problem description that will be posted or is posted, you can see that there the idea is to think about how PBL can be implemented in, let's say, in your home institution, and what you would tell your colleagues about what you've learned about PBL and how you could adopt and apply it in your system, and how much or how little effort that might take. And I think that's what you will be working on in the upcoming week. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Lianne. Well, to conclude this session, I have 2 more remarks. First one is that during the week, the new peer feedback assignment will open up. That means you get the chance to give peer feedback to other groups. That is not absolutely required for the certificate, but we encourage you to do it because you can learn a lot from your peers and they can learn a lot from you. So we really encourage you to do the peer feedback. The second remark is that in the upcoming Google Hangout sessions, we have some room for one of you guys to share your experiences concerning PBL with us and with our other participants. So if you'd like to go on air with us live, please let us know in the discussion forums. We'll open up a topic there where you can sign up, and we'll get one of you in one of the upcoming sessions to share your experience with us. If you have any other questions concerning the Mooc or the content of the Mooc or the problems or technical difficulties or whatever, please visit our discussion forums where we can answer your questions quickly. For now, I think that concludes our session. So I want to wish you all a very pleasant day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.